financial picture. What about the Dodd-Frank Act and the regulations now being written to put it into effect? How do you feel about that act?
Well, I think it's important to do things that rein in, to some degree, the casino aspects of Wall Street. I'm not getting into the credit card. I'm thinking about the finance end of it. And Wall Street is a strange place where it does a lot of good things, and then it has this casino. I mean, it's kind of like a church that's, running raffles on the weekends, or something that's appealing to both sides of human nature. So and the money tends to be more in the casino end sometimes as you go along. And people like casinos. I mean, think of it. I mean, 50 years ago when it was Las Vegas, people went thousands of miles to do things that were mathematically unintelligent. I went through there on my honeymoon in 1952, and I saw all these well-dressed people, high IQs, doing mathematically unintelligent things as fast as they could, and they'd come 1,000 miles to do it. I thought, I'm going to get rich in this country, So people have a propensity to gamble, and it gets made easier and easier for them. And of course, when you get into huge derivatives positions and that sort of thing, it makes a mockery of the margin rules which were put in after the '29 crash in the early 30s. The government said, we have an interest in people not being able to go wild on speculation because it's led to the '29-32 crash. So they put in margin rules. We've still got them on the books, and they've been made totally meaningless by what people can do in derivatives. So I think anything that tends to rein that in is a plus, and I think we went to some degree in that direction. I think one of the problems we still have is we probably have unbalanced incentives for the managers of huge financial institutions. And people talk about moral hazard, and moral hazard being the fact that if somebody bails you out from something dumb you've done, you'll keep doing dumb things in the future. There is no moral hazard in terms of big financial company stockholders. If you were a stockholder of WAMO or Wachovia or Citigroup or AIG or Freddie or Fannie or you name it, you have lost anywhere from 99% to 90% of your money. Losing 90% of your money does not make you think that you're going to get bailed out. The common shareholders did not get bailed out of those institutions. They lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions. But the managers of those institutions, in all cases, to my knowledge, went away rich. Now, they may not be as rich as they were before. So the moral hazard exists, in my view, with the people that become CEO, not with the common shareholders. And I think there ought to be terrific downside for anybody running an institution where society has to step in and help them for the good of society. And that hasn't been the case. And I think that something ought to be done about that.
What would you do?
Well, we'd shoot him to start with. I think if you run a huge financial institution and you've got hundreds of millions or billions on the upside, I think if you run that institution in such a way that the federal government comes in for the benefit of society to save the institution, even though they don't save the common shareholders, they shouldn't save you either. I think you should go broke. And I think your wife should go broke too, which I hope I'm not ruining a lot of marriages out there by the suggestion. But I really think that you should not be better off than the 9.7% of the people that are now unemployed in part because of some of the actions that you took.